Welcome back in one of the Bears Shop Plays YouTube channel. Today is Saturday. It is March 8th, and I'm back bringing us more picks and props for the college basketball slate. A lot of games on the slate. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about games with teams on the bubble, with teams that desperately need to win going into March Madness. If they don't win, maybe they don't make the tournament unless they make some big conference runs. So the first three games are going to be teams on the bubble or teams to watch for the bubble. Final three games on the other picks are going to be top 25 matchups I think are worth a look. But for right now, let's look at the plays for Friday. Illinois kind of getting stomped on 63-53 right now. Cut it to 2.5. I thought they were going to come out of half and dominate. They are sticking to the three-point shot, and they can't make threes. I don't know what the hell is going on with Illinois. They were kind of coming back in the game. They were down by 10 points early. They were coming back by just pounding down low, but they're just shooting threes now. And it's not looking great. There's still 11 minutes left in the game, down by 10. Our player prop, Kylan Boswell, had 2 fouls in the first half. I think he only played 8 minutes in the first half. This is a guy who's been on the floor 38-plus minutes in back-to-back games. I know he had a layup very early, but it's just all in the background. Haven't been really watching it, so we don't know what that one is. 11.5 was the player prop to get there. VCU is going to lose outright, I think, to Dayton. They're down by 1 right now with 6 seconds left, so maybe we get overtime. We're probably not going to get overtime. They're going to lose, which could win by Dayton. VCU came out at -9.5. I thought it'd be like -4.5. Kind of a weird line. I was actually even more confident with VCU -9.5 because, book says 9.5. I thought 4.5, and, the book was wrong. Dayton dominated in that game for the most part. And our final player, prop Tyson, Boise State, over the total points of 16.5 going up against Colorado State. That one happens very, very late. So, if Illinois doesn't come back, we might be looking at a 1-3 day if Tyson comes through. If Illinois does come back, maybe we salvage a 2-2 day. Had a pretty good day the other night with Queens and Michigan State. Also, Iowa making that bank shot with 0.1 seconds left, and they waved it off. They actually counted it first and then waved it off for the cover. We needed one of those. We really needed one of those. So we got the sweep on the game picks yesterday. But let's go take a look at the NBA season game that we're doing. I want to make sure everybody gets in on the college basketball side as well. If you want to get into the game, pause the video and take a screenshot or just read. Really what it is like kind of a streak. All you got to do is be streaking. Enter a player prop for the NBA. Doesn't have to be every day. It could be every other day if you want to be. But the longest continued streak at the end of the NBA season will win an NBA jersey. This is what it looks like. This is the current NBA streaks that we have for the people who have entered. A couple people streaking right now. Chosen One was streaking. He had 4, I believe, before that Cat loss. But Ernesto's playing the long game. Draymond gets the win. Nick Smith gets the win. And he had one back here. DeMar gets the win. So he's sitting on 3 since February 26th. I went through a struggle there. I pick every night. That's just the thing I do. I'm on 1 now. Julius Randle pending. Dennis was on a pretty good run. Jackson Hayes screws him there. And also, E. Mitch was on a pretty good run, I think. Yeah, he had 3 before Joker the other night. So we have a couple people streaking, and this is what it looks like. Just going to put your name right here. If you want to put a player prop in, it goes right here, and you will just continue on with the rest of us. Longest streak at the end of the NBA season will win that jersey. Let's go talk about some college basketball for tomorrow. Remember, we're going to talk about teams who are on the bubble, who are fighting for conference standings, who are fighting to get better seeds in the conference tournament, and for teams who might just be bounced if they lose this game. And this is one of these games. Ohio State going up against Indiana, 2 Big Ten teams. I think Ohio State sitting at the 10 seed in the conference. The bottom 3 teams in the Big Ten get dropped. So I think even if one of these teams lose, I think they have a chance in the conference tournament. But this would be a massive game for the bubble, the Joe Lunardi bubble. I think Ohio State's first 4 out. Indiana might be first 4 in after their good win going up against Purdue a couple weeks ago, or actually it was last week against Purdue. But Indiana's been playing better over the last couple of games. Got a win against Michigan State, got a win against Purdue. That's really 2 top 25 really good matches of them that they got the win. Ohio State's been playing decent over the last couple of games, but they had a 3 or 4 game losing streak. Looking at it here, Michigan, Northwestern, horrible loss by 21 points in that game, and then UCLA. So Ohio State, they got off the mat, they beat USC, then they beat Nebraska in double overtime, 116-114. Both these teams hover on the bubble. I think Indiana takes it. These teams have played before. Indiana beat Ohio State 77-76 in overtime. I think down low, Indiana can dominate this game. Ballo, Malik, Mbako, those guys for Indiana, they're just going to wreak havoc down low going up against Ohio State. Ohio State does have a few big guys, but they like to play perimeter offensively, and they're not a very good rebounding team. So I'm going to go with Indiana in this one to get the job done. Last time, Ballo, 21 points, 15 rebounds for Indiana. If you're looking for player props, maybe look at that. But I think Indiana gets the job done here. I'm going to take them on the money line as the first play of the day. Second play, North Carolina going up against Duke. North Carolina is a bubble team. Duke is the number 2 seed in the tournament right now. They will, or the number 1 seed, number 1 seed in the March Madness tournament. This is a game North Carolina, if they win, they punch the ticket no matter what. If they beat Duke in this game, they punch the ticket. If they get blown out, they got to make some noise in the conference tournament. And if they keep it within the number and they win one game in the ACC, they're most likely going to get in. But I think right now North Carolina was the first 4 out as well. This would be a monster game for them. They have won 6 consecutive games. They lost to Duke by 17. Really, they lost to Duke by 30 because Duke stopped trying. Since then, North Carolina has won 7 of the last 8. They have been putting up monster numbers: 88, 97, 81, 96, 92, 91. A lot of that's because the ACC is a crapshoot this season. They have a lot of weak teams. Duke is not a weak team, and that's something else that we need to talk about. Duke, I know they're good. I know they're very good. Are they top 5, top 10? They're probably top 10. Are they top 5? Because they've only played a couple top 25 teams this season. They lost to Kansas and Kentucky. Kansas is horrible. Kentucky's not very good. That was very early in the season, but still, they lost to 2 teams in the top 25, and they've only played 4 total. They're 2-2, but they've been playing the ACC. I mean, there's not a single good team in the ACC besides Clemson, Duke, and I guess we can put Louisville in there because somehow they're in the top 25. They're playing decent basketball, but I'm going to take North Carolina here plus 10.5. This is their season. They got to find a way to fight. They got to find a way to cover. I don't think they're going to win because Duke is a good team, but I'm going to take North Carolina with the points as the second play of the night. Third play, we have Oklahoma going up against Texas. I don't have a slide, apparently. Doesn't matter. Oklahoma going up against Texas. Texas minus 5.5. Oklahoma coming off a massive win against Missouri that kept them in the tournament. This is a team that has lost 7 of the last 9 games, Oklahoma, and they found a way to beat Missouri on their home floor, 96-84. 96 points for Oklahoma against Missouri. A reason why I like Missouri on Saturday to bounce back from that horrible loss. Texas coming off a monster win on the road going up against Mississippi State. Top 25 matchup. They desperately need to win that game as well. Both these teams on the bubble. Texas is going to be the play minus 5.5. Texas all season long has been much better on their home floor. Trey Johnson has been much better on his home floor for Texas. Oklahoma, they are hit or miss. They shot 70% in the first half going up against Missouri. I think they finished the game shooting 60+% from the field in that one. That's not going to happen in this one. Texas has a very good defense, or at least on paper, they're very good defensively. Their numbers defensively this season are not bad. But I think Texas is going to be the play here, minus 5.5. I think Trey Johnson has himself 30 points in this one. Oklahoma has no answer. I think Texas will be very aggressive defensively, and Oklahoma's not going to make their shots in this game. Give me Texas minus 5.5 as the final bubble play of the day. Let's go with some player props for tomorrow. Missouri, one of those teams that just lost to Oklahoma. They're going up against Kentucky, though, this time. Kentucky doesn't have a defense, 293rd in the country. That is abysmal. They are horrible defensively. They're not a very good team altogether. Mark Mitchell's going to be the play, over 13.5 to 16.5 points, listed as a guard, but he's 6'9", 240 pounds. So that's not a guard in my opinion, but I put guard because it's listed as a guard. But he's 6'9", 240 pounds, plays down low for Missouri. He has been on a mission over the last couple games. 18 against Oklahoma, played 25 minutes, got himself into a little bit of foul trouble early in the game. I only had two in the entire game, but a little bit early he had some foul trouble. Then against Vanderbilt had 20 points. So he's had back-to-back games, 18-plus points. Only shot 8 times going up against Oklahoma. We're going to see 15-plus shots in this game from him. We haven't seen that since the Alabama game where he dropped 31 points. This is going to be a game we see him shoot 15-plus times. Kentucky down low will be dominated by Mark Mitchell. Give me the over, 13.5, probably 13.5, 14.5 as the first play on the player prop side. Second play, Chance McMillan. He is back. He was injured. Now he's back. First game back was against Kansas, I believe, from his injury. He was decent in the game. 3-9 from the field. He had a couple issues shooting from 3. He was 1 of 7. But him on the floor it was more like a decoy. It was whenever an NFL guy goes out there, wide receiver, and you put him out there as a decoy, Chance McMillan on the floor did cause Kansas a little bit of problem on the defensive side. Scored 9 points in the game, but that was his appetizer. He was getting back in the groove of things, missing almost 2 weeks of basketball. Then his last game against Colorado, 25 minutes, 6 of 8 from the field, 15 points, 3 of 4 from deep. That's the Chance McMillan I love to see. Arizona State this season, again, not a good defensive team, 284th in the country. Give me the over. 13.5, 14.5 points as the second play of the day. And for the final play of the day for the player props, LJ Cryer, going back to Baylor, his stomping grounds over the total points. LJ Cryer in the first half going up against Kansas, I believe he had 18 points, and Houston as a team had, I want to say it was like 20, 28. This guy, he kept Houston in the game the entire time at home going up against Kansas. If they didn't have LJ Cryer in that game in the first half, they would have lost to Kansas. LJ Cryer in the second half got himself in foul trouble, only had 4 total points. Everybody else from Houston started to wake up, started to get hot from the field, and Houston won that game. But LJ Cryer was the big reason they stayed in that game in the first half with 18 points. He's going to have a monster day here going up against Baylor. Baylor on the season, actually a little bit better on the defensive side than they were to start the season, but against Baylor, we've already seen it this year. 14 points, only shot 11 times. LJ Cryer has been very aggressive over the last several games. He's going to be very aggressive in this game going up against Baylor. Give me the over 14.5, 15.5, somewhere around there as the final player prop of the day. Now, let's go talk about some games in the top 25. We have multiple top 25 games. Johnnies are a good team, but they're not going to win March Madness because they're not a good three-point shooting team, and they really like to dominate teams down low. They like to be physical, and that's just not a way to win March Madness. It's like wanting a defense to win you a playoff game going up against Patrick Mahomes. It's just not going to happen. The Eagles did it, but other teams did not do it. Eagles, that might have been a bad example, but you get what I'm saying. St. John's get a lot of 2-point shots. They can make threes. They're just not a very good 3-point shooting team on the outside. I think they will win this game against Marquette because, once again, I think they're just going to be aggressive. They've been the bully in the Big East. They're going to be the bully in the Big East once again. They should win the conference tournament. I just think when we get to the Elite Eight, they're going to go up against a team that's going to shoot 45% from the outside, 40% from the outside, and they're just not going to have an answer. So I'm going to take St. John's in this game on the money line going up against Marquette. Big win on the road for them. Kentucky going up against Missouri. Missouri's lost back-to-back games, coming off a bad loss against Oklahoma. Kentucky's not a very good team in my opinion. I think Missouri is sneaky good. I'm going to take Missouri minus 4.5 as the play there against Kentucky. Should be a high-scoring game as well in that Kentucky-Missouri game. Alabama-Auburn. Alabama coming off a loss. Alabama coming off a loss at home. Auburn coming off a loss on the road. Auburn's going to be back to fully healthy in this game. Denver Jones back. Alabama back to fully healthy in this game. 8.5 too many. It's just too many points. Alabama's the best scoring team in the country. They will keep this game close. I will take Alabama plus 8.5 as the final play of the day. All the plays. Bubble teams. Indiana money line. UNC plus 10.5. Texas minus 5.5. They get the job done for those games. St. John's money line. Alabama plus 8.5. And Missouri minus 4.5. Mark Mitchell over the total points. Chance McMillan over the total points. And LJ Cryer. LJ Cryer over the total points. Don't know what happened on that graphic, but sorry about that. Guys, going to do it for the NCAA basketball picks and props for Saturday, March 8th slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please drop a like this video and subscribe down below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.